lot of racial slurs, the K word used a lot. Let's first just find out. These are your tweets. You own them.
Yes, there's one or two. There's not mine. There's AI, but the majority of what I've seen, the ones you showed me now, those are my tweets.
So people are quite angry, of course, suggesting that you are racist. These are racial slurs. How would you respond to that?
All right. Explain to me first. Have I directed, using the word, have I directed it at somebody? Have I ever called anybody the K word in my life? Is there anybody that can come up? Number one, no, there's not. I had hundreds and thousands of followers. When those tweets came out that day, it was making a point, because I hate racism. I was making a point, and when I made that point, why was there no uproar? Why was there no complaint? Because now they are changing what I've said. Somebody there, I showed you now, somebody said, this word was, I'm the one that called that person to order. And where I used the words, why don't they go and check? It was the quotes of Gandhi.
One of the tweets suggests that words like tendropenia and black diamond basically just describe you as a beta K word.
Yes.
Would you own that? That suggests
100%.
that.
100%. Let me explain something to you. The first thing that Africans, the mistake they're making, they want to own this insult as exclusively African. It's not only them that's being called that. I grew up in the colored community. That's also insulting towards us. The word is not belonging to the African black exclusively. So it's not the insult alone. So when somebody says to me, and you must check the conversation before that, Mckenzie, you a black diamond. I said, you're being racist. Why do you think I'm a better black? That is in the context. You can't take out the tweet of 15 years without context.
Are those tweets correct? In your position as a cabinet minister now, if you were to write those tweets this very moment, would you?
No, but I wasn't a cabinet minister. I was a socialite. I was a troll. I was a Twitter thing. There's a lot of things I look at back today that I cringe to say, did I really say that? But racism, you can't put racism on me. I always tweeted as a black person. So who was I racist against? Against my mom? Against my children? Against myself? You see, my brother, let me tell you straight up two things very clearly. This thing has nothing to do with this. This is all politics. Let me tell you something. That's the first thing I want to say to you. This whole thing, they have to go. This is a campaign against me. For you to go back 15 years and come here. If there's things I did 15 years ago, the president should fire me with some of those things that I did 15 years ago.
And those calls are mounting this very moment for you to go as a cabinet minister because of these tweets. How do you respond to that?
I think firstly, let me just make one thing clear. I didn't hire myself here. Two, President Ramaphosa hired me. If President Ramaphosa called me right now and he says, I want you to resign, I will never fight him. I will, within 5 minutes, he will have my resignation because I respect him. And after 5 days, you will not hear me have anything bad to say about him or the GNU because I believe in the president. I believe in the GNU. So I'm not those type of people. When you're inside, you just praise the president. I will continue to praise President Ramaphosa even when he asked me to resign. He hired me. You see, they mustn't, this for me is a job that I do. You can see you found me at work. I don't know how you found me, but I'm busy working here. I came here this morning, the whole day I was working.
Hello everybody, welcome back to this channel. Hope you're doing good. Now, if double standards could have a face, it would look like Gayton Mckenzie. Gayton says black people cannot own the K word. He says because colored people also see it as deeply offensive. Okay, but here's the thing. If you also believe it's derogatory, why use it in the first place? Why use the K word if you think and feel that it's derogatory? Because maybe it does not have the same effect on you as it does on black people because you don't see yourself as a black person. Like, it's like saying that a word is poison and pouring a glass and taking a sip. And here's where it gets interesting. Gayton says his old tweets were not aimed at anyone specific. But if we are playing by that same rule, then the kids on Open Chats podcast could say the exact same thing by their own comments because they didn't direct it to a specific person. Or does this narrative only suit Gayton Mckenzie? You see, here's the thing about double standards. When they say it, it's context. When you say it, it's disrespectful. When they make a statement, it's misunderstood. And when someone else make this very same statement, it's offensive. We can't keep moving the goalpost depending on who's kicking the ball. If a rule is fair, it has to be fair for everyone. Otherwise, it's not a rule, it's just a personal preference dressed in moral high ground.
And ask forgiveness for something I didn't do. I'm asking forgiveness for some of the nonsense things I said about guys and swearing some guys, whatever. Not racism. I don't apologize. Why will I apologize for something that I didn't do? Even if the president says I must apologize for racism, I will not apologize for racism because I wasn't racist. Must I be so desperate for a job that I start apologizing for stuff? I'm a brother. I'm another type of guy, not that. What you see here, they fear me. They have been calling me Pantit, mustn't be here. They've been saying, hey, this Pantit mustn't be a minister. Then every time I beat them at the by-elections, where's Pantit and all? Now they found racism. What racism? How can I be racist, my brother? Me? You think 15 years ago I thought I'm going to be a minister? I was a rich, black, socialite, living life, owning nightclubs, driving sports cars. And when I became a minister, I found God and I changed my whole life. If you want to punish me at the ballot box. As far as the job is concerned, I got so much love for my president that if he tells me right now to resign, I will resign and I'll go naar my mense toe dat ons werk vir 2026. Spijzani.
Okay, guys, I think before we start today's episode, there's been a lot of things happening on social media, on the news, and I think it's very important out of respect we address this thing. Statements are not enough, online statements, because the things are said on the podcast, and I feel it's important to also render an apology on the podcast as well. So what we did today, we just made sure that everyone who was a part of that video is here to formally apologize, And guys, I want to make something very, very clear as well. I had to write this down, this apology, to respect the moments and make no mistakes. So you'll forgive me. I have to read this from my phone. Okay. So yeah. An episode of Open Chats podcast, episode 128 to be more specific, has gone viral for all the wrong reasons. With this episode 131, we here at Open Chats podcast wish to unconditionally and unreservedly apologize for the hurt and the harm we caused to the colored community and to South Africa at large, and we take accountability for our utterances. Our statements in the episode were racist, sexist, unfortunate, irresponsible, reckless, and un-African. Our statements have caused so much outrage and offense, not only in the colored community of South Africa, but to all South Africans, irrespective of race, color, or creed. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to apologize on behalf of the entire crew of the Open Chats podcast. We recognize that the success of this podcast and all affiliated podcasts is as a result of the right to freedom of expression we enjoy and benefit from. However, we recognize and now understand that we cannot exercise this right in such a manner that we unfairly discriminate against others based on their race, and we cannot strip anyone of their dignity through reckless utterances. Episode 128 of the Open Chats podcast has been removed from all our platforms, and we regret that it still continues to be decimated by people not associated with our platform, therefore causing further outrage and pain. We therefore ask that we stop causing further hate and request that no other person shares it any further. Beyond this apology and the removal of the offensive episode from all our platforms, we at Open Chats Podcast wish to demonstrate our remorse through further action. We commit to educating ourselves on the human rights, race relations, and racism at a reputable institute of higher education, so we understand these rights and never infringe the rights of others again. We at Open Chats Podcast also wish to invite any South African political parties, particularly those who have publicly stated their dissatisfaction with us, to discuss matters around human rights, race relations, and racism in an Open Chats podcast to be recorded in due course. We intended on approaching the South African Human Rights Commission as a further measure to demonstrate our remorse. However, due to the outrage of our utterances, Many interested parties approached the South African Human Rights Commission and rightfully exercised their legal rights and constitutional rights and lodged complaints with the institution. Our legal team are liaising with the South African Human Rights Commission and aggrieved parties to reach a resolution soon. We remain committed to comply with any directive by the South African Human Rights Commission. We are disappointed with ourselves and the blatant disregard we showed when talking about a vulnerable group of people. We remain remorseful and request for the forgiveness of the colored community of South Africa and all South Africans, irrespective of race, color, or creed. Any further communications regarding this matter can be sent to our legal representatives for further processing and attention. We're really, really sorry.
Yeah, bro, to the color community and all the viewers, man, I also would like to express our sincerest apologies for myself and on behalf of the team as well. And open chats, we are truly sorry for the damage that we've caused. And yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.